Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kadash, double honors unto the elders and the apostles, bishops of the great millstone, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, to the hopefully elect. So we're going to start off here with this Zero Hedge article. And it says, Americans panic search, live off grid as housing crisis worsens and Democrat cities implode. So more of the destruction of Babylon the Great America. All right, you got these Babylonians panic searching on the internet how to live off the grid. You know what I'm saying? They're on YouTube getting into different videos of how to farm, how to grow your own crops, how to raise animals, how to repair things yourself, because a lot of these people, they're going to look to get out of these cities because they know by seeing what's going on that these cities are troubled, and there's going to be more hell and calamities to come in these cities as things get worse. And this is ultimately all from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, great fear is falling upon those that are seeing the signs in the heavens and on the earth. So these people are being plagued in their minds. They're being led away for sorrow. They're languishing. They're being destroyed from within. So now they're panicking. See? And there's going to be a mass exodus out of these cities. You see? Because if you learn anything from the pandemic, these cities were shut down. The only ones who still had their relatively same quality of life were those that lived outside of the cities in the rural areas where the government didn't really have that much influence like that, you know? But people understand that these cities are pretty much done. You have homelessness, mass homelessness going on. You have a raging drug crisis that is currently affecting these cities. All right, you have a mass influx of immigrants coming from out of the country into these major urban areas. So all of the signs are leading to destruction. And truth be told, if you're in these major cities, you're going to be catching the most hell. You know? If you're in the country, you might be a little better off. I mean, you still going to catch hell out there too, but if you're in a situation to where you have your own setup going and you can kind of self-sustain to a degree, then you'll be better off than those that's in the cities. You know, we know that Jake, Israel is, are in these urban areas. You know what I'm saying? That's why ultimately the Lord is going to have a hedge of protection around the elect to be kept from the said evils. You know what I'm saying? Because, Jake, especially the 2/3 Jake, most of them going to be done in with the sword. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to be a small remnant that's going to be saved from the said peril. So getting into the article, it says, what's piqued our interest in this sudden panic by some Americans searching live off grid on the internet, hitting the highest level in 5 years. The driving force behind finding a rural piece of land for dirt cheap, buying or building a tiny home, installing solar panels, and sourcing your own food and water might have to do with the worst inflation storm in a generation, while Democrat cities implode under the weight of soaring violent crime. Yeah, so these cities are trouble. And it tells you in 2nd Ezra 15, I believe, that the cities shall be troubled because of their pride. So for the pride of these Babylonians, their cities are being troubled. You see, violence is surging. All right, you have officials in these major cities such as Baltimore. Okay, they're going against the mayor and the government structure because they're bringing it out that in mainly these Israelite communities, that children under 12 years old are the ones committing majority of the crime. It's not even adults no more. It's children under the age of 12, which is sad, that you have the youth out there that are just completely gone and lost. You know what I'm saying? But it's mainly because the older generation in society, once, I brought it out the last lesson I did, the news and prophecy, that America, this is a toxic environment. Nothing righteous can grow here. I mean, being, the prophets, you brothers and sisters out there, you hopefully elect. If you're in this counsel and this truth, you got to count yourself blessed, because majority of people in this world, they completely gone. They so far gone. They just completely engulfed in darkness, completely into wickedness, and don't think it ain't nothing wrong with it. But yeah, so because of the pride, these cities are being troubled. And this is why you're having so much panic and people trying to find a way out desperately of the hell that is going on. Inflation is a big factor. You go into the grocery store now and you spending 40% more on food than what you did pre-pandemic. Gas is higher. Even the price of a used car is damn near double what it was pre-pandemic. And that all goes into the moniker, the NWO slogan of Klaus Schwab and the WEF of what? You shall own nothing and you will be happy. You see? You're not even going to be able to own a car. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to make inflation so high that even if you can afford a car, you ain't going to be able to afford gas. You're going to have to choose between gas and some Popeye's chicken. It's already come down to that. Just go on YouTube, go on TikTok and see how many people are complaining. Which really, it ain't even that bad. It is bad, but it's not that bad to the point where you just can't live. Really, the problem is that these people can't live the same quality of life that they were used to pre-pandemic. So now they're pretty much languishing because of that. They can still put gas in their car. They can still get food, but they can't go on excursions. All right, they can't go on the 1 to 2 week vacation that they was used to pre-pandemic. They can't go out every weekend, go to the club and buy drinks and do stuff like that. They got, now they got to cut back on their lifestyle. And now we live in a society where pretty much everything that you put on social media, that's the image of your life. You can live in a very destitute situation. But as long as you got a decent car and you look the part, you look like you live in life, then to you, it's all good. Even though your reality is much worse. You sleeping on the couch, sleeping on your baby mama's couch. You eating Fruit Loops every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You driving a beat up 1995 Ford Mustang GT with no hubcaps. You see, but as long as you can make it look good on social media, then that's all you need. So these people in this land are languishing away. All right, the people in these cities are starting to go to very desperate lengths to preserve themselves. I saw a video the other day in which y'all pretty sure y'all might have seen it. But it was this guy, he was in his apartment, and some straight up thugs came to his door, ringing the doorbell, asking if he had his air ducts cleaned out. And he said, "No, nobody's home," even though he was in the house. But he said, "No, nobody's home right now. You're gonna have to come back." So long story short, they start kicking in his door. Then he just, dude grabbed his gun and started blasting through the door. And they had ran off. But that's what's going on now. It's just blatant, broad daylight crime that's going on like that, man. And you're gonna see a lot more of that. That's that second Ezra 16. Going around with the sword. Neighbor rising up against neighbor, spoiling people's houses with the sword. because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. Listen, that's what's here. All right. And as we always say, once that famine comes into the picture, you're gonna see hell break loose like you never seen it before. Then you're gonna be calling out for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, then that's when you're gonna see Jake calling out for God and Jesus Christ. Okay. But even when you call on them names, the Lord gonna ignore your ass. All right, the Lord is not going to hear you in that day. You see, because the word went out, the warning went out, and you chose to live in folly. See, you chose to live in the world, even though this world is passing away. All right, these people can't even afford a damn house, but yeah, you still trying to chase the bag. When you should be chasing Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, you should be, lusting after righteousness. All right. But hey, man, 2/3 is going to be the 2/3. All right. Let the wicked be wicked still. Let the righteous increase in his way. All right. It says we're not going to speculate on the exact cause, but we'll give readers an understanding that a combination of the worst housing affordability crisis in decades, plus out of control crime in progressive run cities, could be some of the largest drivers pushing people to explore living in the sticks. In this crime, well, California most notably, crime is pretty much legal out there. California right now is a complete dystopia. You know what I'm saying? People out there is living like it's Mad Max. You know what I'm saying? Just running up in stores in broad daylight, taking as much, clothing and items, food, whatever that they can spoil. And this is being allowed to happen. So indeed, you will see a purge-like scenario in a very, very short time. These things are going to come sooner than what you think. All right? You already see that it's happening, but it's going to get worse. So check this out. It says, with the introduction of SpaceX's Starlink in 2019, remote workers no longer have to live in crowded, dirty, and dangerous metro areas. Many found this out during the exodus of major cities during CV. All right, so this exodus out of the cities actually began during the pandemic because what? These cities were crowded, more importantly, dangerous and dirty. You got a lot of drug addicts, sanitation workers in a lot of these cities. They don't have enough to go around. So trash is piling up. The streets are becoming dirty. America is literally turning into a third world country right before your eyes. It says capitalizing on the off of the grid living is Home Depot. We've also seen the RV Industry Association report multiple times this year that park mobile home shipments are surging on a monthly basis versus the same months last year. Yet another indication of housing affordability issues, and the real estate market right now is about to pop. You see, APR rates, interest rates are so high that no one wants these houses. All right, houses that before the pandemic were $80,000 are now going for double the price. So a lot of these houses are just sitting on the market. No one wants to buy. Then inflation on top of that, the cost of general living. Who can afford a house in these times, man? Again, people can't even afford a damn used car. So how much more so to live in a home? So, hey, man, as we tell you Israelites, America is finished, man. All right, the scriptures say to come out of her, my people. Okay, because it ain't nothing here for you, man. You know what I'm saying? This is just for us. This is temporal. This is not your rest, Jake. This is not your rest, man. You know what I'm saying? This is our punishment. Now I'm not saying you got to be a bum. I'm not saying you got to live like a hermit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, at the end of the day, if the Lord bless you with a portion on his side, hey, use it for what it's good for. But understand that it's going to come a time you're going to have to lose that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to come a time you're going to have to give that up. So just don't become attached to these things. Just understand that, These things are temporal just for the time being. You know what I'm saying? Just be satisfied with what the Lord allow you to have in this world. You know what I'm saying? So that's it for the article. Let's grab Isaiah 24 in verse 1. It says, Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. Verse 3, the land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for the Lord has spoken his word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the hardy people of the earth do languish. All right, and these people are languishing. It said they panicking, searching how to live off the grid. So that's what, man, these people being plagued with sorrow of mind. They languishing away because they have abused the grace period of Yahweh Basham Shai, and they refuse to repent. And ultimately, their pride makes it difficult or impossible for them to repent. So they just grow into more and more wickedness. And they actually believe that living out in the sticks is going to be safe. Now, they might be better off than the people in the cities, but they still going to get got. You see? Because when you live out there in the sticks, there's a lot of what? Wild beasts. All right, there's a lot of wild animals out there that the Lord is going to put the spirit on to jack these people up anyway. You see? So, listen, man, it ain't nowhere that you can go on the earth, whether you in a big city, whether you in a rural area, or you just straight out in the boondocks. All right, it ain't nowhere that you can go to escape the judgment and the wrath of Yahweh Basham Shai. Judgment is going to come upon the whole earth, man. All right? So really what they doing is all in vain. You know what I'm saying? Now, they are smarter, you know what I'm saying, than most people, and they got the resources to get out, but ultimately, they still going to get got by the Lord. All right? Verse 5, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So ultimately what? These people are wicked. Okay, they have put off the law, statutes, and the commandments of Yahweh Basham Shai. America, when these presidents swear in, they're sworn in on what? They put their right hand on the Bible and they swear in on the Bible. You know what I'm saying? That's really where you Edomites messed up. You see? Because you took the Bible, you swear in on the Bible. This supposedly supposed to be a Christian nation, but yet everything that these Edomites push is against the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. They don't uphold the law. All right, that's why it says because they have transgressed the laws. All right, now Esau, you called yourself a Christian, right? And you toted the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You was a Bible thumper. And that's even worse. You see? Because Esau know what the scriptures say, man. You know what I'm saying? Esau know what the scriptures say about promoting certain things. And this man promotes nothing but wickedness. You see, so because of that, man, now these cities are being troubled. And this is all brought on due to pride. All right, it says, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, and all the merry-hearted do sigh. This is the point here, verse 8. The mirth of tabrets ceases. Okay, I say that right. The noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth. You see, so there was a time when America, when it came to these certain holidays, Easter, 4th of July, or 4th of July, okay? Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you name it. All these holidays, all right, there was mirth. Okay, people giving gifts, exchanging gifts, You having a feast, you playing music, you drinking wine, having yourself a good old time. But now what? It says, the noise of them that rejoices endeth. Okay, so that rejoicing, that mirthful spirit, that happy spirit, it's ending. Okay? All you see now is people on social media complaining about how hard that their lives are. You don't really see nobody talking about being happy and prospering no more, man. And those that are, they putting on the front. Because listen, man, nobody is really happy. All right? Even the men of the Lord are in mourning, man. All right, the prophets especially are in mourning because we understand our condition. You know what I'm saying? But how much more so these people that's in this world that were sold a pipe dream. You know what I'm saying? They were sold the American dream. And it's indeed a dream because you can only see it while you sleep, man. You know what I'm saying? But when you wake up and open your eyes, it's hellfire, okay? It's a false reality all around you. And now these people are coming to that realization. It says, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion, which is what? America, Babylon the Great, is broken down. Every house is shut up. And amen. And these houses are literally being shut up. Okay? Ain't nobody living in these houses, man. People that got houses right now are looking to sell and move to the sticks. You know? That no man may come in. There was a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. You see, and hey, what it say here? Panic. Okay, Americans panic search. So when you got a panic search going on, that means that this is one of the top searches on the internet. You see that? Live off the grid as housing crisis worsens. You see, so hey, the mirth of the land is gone. All right? People are languishing, man. They so desperate to just get away from everything that they risking to go out and bumblefuck to build themselves a house or live in a trailer, live in an RV. You know what I'm saying? Risk living amongst the, wild beasts. Okay, just to have some, sense of comfort. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but it's all in vain. Let's move on. Let's move on here. All right, because your man JB, all right, he coming with it, man. He coming back again. You see? Biden's plot to send America back into lockdown must be stopped. Okay, and I touched on this briefly in the last lesson I did, in which they coming with the BS. You know what I'm saying? Esau coming back with these new lockdowns. And your man Klaus Schwab of the WEF, he said just a couple weeks ago that these climate lockdowns that he's been speaking about will happen sooner than you think. So these devils are basically threatening you outright and open to your face. All right? And this devil, Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying, went out there and tried to compare the fires that happened out there in Maui to a kitchen fire that he suffered, which that's wicked as hell, man. You see, and the scriptures tell you that these devils, speak wickedly concerning oppression. You see? And I remember back in the day when Obama went to Flint, Michigan, and he was on stage and he asked somebody to bring him a glass of water. And hey, he drank the water right in front of the people as if to say that there's no crisis here. The water is safe. And all that was a psyop. Okay, all that was him controlling the narrative. All right, even though the people out there suffering, bathing, drinking in dirty water, you go out there and you put on an act for the world to see that, there's no problem here. I'm the president of the United States and I'm drinking Flint, Michigan water. And he ain't even drink it. All he did was wet his lips. So he ain't even drink that water. But it was a wicked gesture, okay, to ignore oppression, man. You know what I'm saying? So that you don't have to do anything about the problem. And then they've always done this. This is why America is going to be destroyed, man. This place, Babylon the Great, is going to be leveled out because of the pride that's here, man. Okay, from the leaders and of the people. It says here, just this week, an Atlanta college announced that they will reinstate mask mandates for students and faculty at their university. The Lionsgate Film Studio in Los Angeles has told their crews to wear masks again. The Biden administration is buying CV equipment and hiring pandemic, quote-unquote, safety protocol officers. And the federal government is also sending $1.4 billion to defense contractors and pharmaceutical companies for more. Hold on, listen, look, 1.4 billion? 1.4 billion, right? So you got all this money. Yo, Esau's the devil, man. So you mean to tell me that you got all this money, right, to pump into defense contractors and pharmaceutical companies, which is nothing but witchcraft, all right, for more CV countermeasures? And what the hell did that even mean? What, like you trying to fight CV, but you the one that is putting these things out there? Hey, man, hey, y'all, you Jakes better wake up and smell what this devil is cooking, man. All right? Because now it's just obvious. Now it's just blatant. You see? So they put in $1.4 billion, but yet homelessness is on the rise. People can't afford food, clothing. Okay? People out here suffering, but which we know what that's really the judgment of Yahweh Shemel Shai upon the proud. But nonetheless, the fact that you put in $1.4 billion into things that is really not needed shows you that these governments and politicians, man, they really not about the people. They're all about doing the will of the elites. You see? Does the lunacy ever stop? And no, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until Yahweh Shemel Shai brings a stop to it. The CV fanatics nonsense never seems to end. In 20 years, we will still probably be prepping for our next lockdown and queuing for our 100th booster shot. 100 booster shot. And hey, listen, man, they about to put these boosters back out there. They about to ramp up the campaign for the boosters as well. But hey, if you take a boost this time around, man, your ass might not, I ain't gonna say it, but you already know. But yeah, this place, America ain't got 20 years. This place is on the way out right now. All right. It says, and why would it end? Biden's Project Next Gen proves that no lessons have been learned from the last set of pandemic restrictions. Even the British government, certainly not one you could accuse of failure to lock down and vaccinate, is doing none of this. It says here, we the people are sick of it and are starting to resist. Only 17% of Americans got their CV booster, according to CDC data. Americans constantly read alarmist stories about new variants and potentially future lockdowns and have started saying, hell no. And that goes into Revelation, Salakia, 2nd Ezra 16. There shall be seditions among men. All right? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their actions shall stand in their own power. All right? And you're seeing this all over the earth right now. So these are the times that we're in, man. The Most High, is manifesting the end. All right? And all the signs that you're seeing in the earth right now, people rising up against their governments, calling out the wicked for their propaganda, calling out the lies. Okay, the earth rising up against, Esau and, his wicked rule. Hey, man, we about to get up out of here sooner than what you think, because we truly at the end. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so, you get the gist of what this article is going into. Let's get Psalms chapter 10. It says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked," which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, "in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and bless the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous." Another lockdown. Climate, quote unquote, climate lockdowns, quote unquote, CV lockdowns. What? Grievous ways, man. Okay, his ways are always grievous. Okay? The ways of the wicked bring about sorrow and anguish. Okay? And right now, he's boasting of his heart's desire. See, this man is telling you openly what he wants to do. And even though people know are on to him now, even though people know that, what he about to bring about is complete BS, he's still going to do it anyway because he's the devil. Okay, plain and simple. He's still going to bring these things about because he is the wicked. Okay, he's performing his lot to the highest capacity. All right. He has said in his heart, Salaki, I'm going to finish, "Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them." So even those that are speaking out against the so-called white man and his lockdowns, Isaiah 10:1, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees." They're speaking out against his unrighteous decrees. All right. He's saying what? Who's going to stop me? Who's going to see me? Yeah, you know what I got going on, but what are you going to do about it? That's Esau's attitude. He says, as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. See, so Esau dragging on that cigarette and blowing the smoke in your face and daring you to do something about it. You see, because ultimately, he understands that he has the power and that the people, they've been so far removed from how to, provide for themselves, defend themselves, that ultimately they just gonna have to lay down to his will. That's what time it is, man. So ultimately, Esau right now, he's puffing at his enemies. Even the other nations. He has said in his heart, "I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity." His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Salaki. But yeah, under his tongue is mischief and vanity, man. All right. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. You see? Here it is. He's telling you that, we have another variant popping up. We're going to have to lock stuff down again. You see? But he's not going to tell you that he's the one that's manufacturing these things, man. Okay, Esau, through the spirit and power of Yahweh by the means of the left hand, all right, he has given Esau the power to manufacture new diseases in the earth and to release them. All right. This is why you keep on hearing about the same things come up over and over and over again. All right. This devil, hey, Revelation 12:12 is coming down with great wrath. Okay. And this is part of that great wrath. You see? So, hey, you got to beware of the wiles of the devil. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. So like I just said, Esau, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, through the left hand, All right. Through wickedness, all right, he has been given the power to work the evil upon the earth, to devise iniquity, to bring about the evil, wicked, and cruel devices, okay, to subjugate the people under his will. All right, he's been given that power on the left-hand side. You see, and he's puffing at his enemies because it is in the power of his hand. And he understands that really the people have no power to do anything against him. You know, the only thing you can really see happening is militias rising up, you know what I'm saying, disgruntled Edomites rising up against the government because they going to defend their constitution unto the death, you see. So yeah, you're going to have particular Edomites that's going to rise up against the government. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be enough. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's an internal rebellion, okay, in which, you know, the military and the police force turns on, you know, Esau's government, you know what I'm saying, to overthrows it that way. But we'll see what happens, you know what I'm saying? But we know that there's going to come a time of chaos in the earth that has never been seen before and shall never be seen again. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have all kinds of hell going on around the earth, but especially in Babylon the Great, man, because this is the main hub of wickedness. You know what I'm saying? This is the main hub of you know, evil and debauchery and everything that is anti-Hamashiach in the earth. It's right here in America. You know what I'm saying? But the people that you have ruling over this place, they are devising iniquity against the people. Okay, because they have an agenda to set up their NWO. But in order to do that, they must bring the chaos by means of different crises, okay, and using direct energy weapons to cause wildfires, you see, you know, causing artificial famines, you know, pushing lies and propaganda, and ultimately making your life a living hell. Going back to Habakkuk 2:5, he is as death, and his desire is as hell. You see, so his desire is to make hell upon the earth, so that ultimately you bend to his will and seek to completely give over, basically sell your soul to have his, you know, solution. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. This man Esau, he's gonna come with it, man. You know what I'm saying? But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the hopeful elect, we shall overcome. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this lesson right here. Hopefully, it was edifying through the Rachak Kadash and closing call halal. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ba'Hashem Rachak Kadash. And until next time, come Yashada DTA and the Bible Ball. Shalom.